Hey, thanks for tuning in to Twang and Bang. The first time I saw a picture of an actual MOE K2 grip from Magpul, I knew right away what they were doing with the design back here in order to address two of the unintended consequences of steepening the angle. When you straighten the angle of an AR-15 pistol grip, you move your hand closer to the trigger, and this shortens the trigger pull. The steeper angle also takes your trigger finger out of alignment of the trigger the way it was designed. This isn't something you necessarily notice when you're doing stand-up shooting, but when you're shooting from a bench or you're shooting prone, it's something that actually I do notice when I'm trying to get a nice, clean trigger pull. Well, what is it about the K2 that Magpul did to it in order to address these two issues? Well, that's what's coming up next on Twang and Bang. When developing the MOE K2 grip, Magpul started from scratch. It's easy to see just by looking at it that this grip is different than anything else out there on the market today. But Magpul didn't stop with just tweaking dimensions. They also came up with a brand new texture pattern that's going to be incorporated into future Magpul grips. The texture on the sides is a perfect balance of being aggressive without being abrasive, and the pronounced angles on the front strap and back strap greatly enhance the grip of the ribs. The K2 is so much more than just a steep angled MOE grip. Though it does accept the MOE accessory inserts, Magpul made the K2 tighter where the insert sits. This is the best way of doing it because it means the existing MOE accessory inserts won't rattle in a K2 either. It's interesting to note that the K2 and the BCM Gunfighter Mod 3 have the exact same depth and width at the webbing underneath the Beaver Tail. Most other maximum dimensions are also equal between the two. However, the big difference is that the BCM is tapered, whereas the K2 grip is slab-sided. Here I've aligned the original MOE, the K2, and the BCM Mod 3. You can easily see how the hump and the beaver tail of the K2 extend much past the BCM. Interestingly enough, that area is also farther back than on the original MOE grip. This is what gives the K2 a nice long trigger pull for a steep angle grip. You can also see where the front strap of the K2 starts about 1/10 of an inch farther rearward than either of the other two grips. This rearward shift of the entire grip is what allowed Magpul to put that hump on the back strap without turning it into a ridiculously large grip. That said, the K2 straight sides fill the hand more than the tapered sides of the BCM Mod 3, though I don't actually find this to be an issue for my medium-sized hands. The beaver tail of the K2 is designed to fit a variety of billet and proprietary lowers. This does mean that it will gap on some lowers like this Mega Arms forged lower. Though this might be an area where dirt or mud can accumulate, there aren't any moving parts in this area, so the effect is purely cosmetic. The rearward shift of the K2 grip is easiest to see when mounted on a lower. When gripping the K2 by the straight back strap, you get a nice long trigger pull. By rotating your hand into the valley of the beaver tail, the angle of your trigger pull is returned to what you would get with a standard angle grip. The hump on the back strap acts as a pivot point, making for an easy transition between the two styles of grips. So I think the science is sound behind this grip, and I have to commend Magpul for putting so much thought into coming up with a steep angle grip that solves two of the problems that we have with other steep angle grips. At least some people feel that they're problems. But I think whether or not you're going to like this grip is going to come down to how you think this area of the grip feels in your hand. Nobody's going to be able to tell you that, yeah, this is great, or no, it's not great. It's going to be something that, in fact, I think that you put it on there, you shouldn't pass judgment until you shoot it for a bit and then decide whether or not this is a grip that works for you. If you want to learn more about the MOE K2 grip from Magpul, be sure to click the link in the video description below. If you like this video, please take the time to log in and click the like button or the plus button in Google+. YouTube needs to know that you like firearms-oriented programming. And be sure to click right here to subscribe so you can catch my next videos on bows, guns, and other cool stuff. I really appreciate you watching Twang and Bang, and I hope to see you next time.